Alla Sigalova is trying to create a new artistic style by combining classical ballet and the art of drama. If she's successful, she's likely to become as well known as Stanislavski and his famous method of acting. In order to fulfill her dream, Sigalova first had to become a brilliant dancer, choreographer, actress, art director, and professor at the Moscow Art Theatre Studio School. Her everyday life is connected with the stage. She doesn't check the homework of her son Mikhail very often. He knows that the following day his mother is leaving again, and he'll be able to speak to her only on the phone. The more successful Sigalova is as a choreographer, the less time she has to spend with her son.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Roman, is that you? Oh, I was calling Mikhail.
It's the dream of many ballet masters to stage their own production in the Mariinsky Theatre in St. Petersburg. Alla is no exception, and she was pleased to get a prestigious offer from Mariinsky. However, she didn't change her own rules, never to accept a contract before the concept of the performance is ready.
Поскольку это такая тема достаточно тревожная.
This is not an easy topic for any person from the world of theatre.
Какими-то мыслями связаны.
I tried to prepare myself as best as it was possible and read all the related publications.
Очень внимательно читала эти статьи.
I was indeed curious.
Любопытно было. И вот
Once I dozed off while reading them. And all of a sudden, I had a dream that was like a movie with music and footage. I woke up at once, dialed the number, and told the managers that I was ready to work.
So the hard work begins. A ballet master should be talented, physically and mentally strong, but just as important, be free-spirited.
Who told you I'm a woman as far as my thinking is concerned? No, you're mistaken. If I were a woman in my thinking, Zelensky would not have worked with me. I hate women's thinking.
Igor Zelensky is the principal dancer of the Mariinsky Theatre, the Royal Ballet in London, and the Teatro alla Scala in Milan. Zelensky spent more than 5 years with the New York City Ballet Company as its main dancer. However, for his benefit performance, he chose the stage of the Mariinsky Theatre in St. Petersburg. It turned out it was not at all easy to choose a choreographer for the new performance. The whimsical soloist had already turned down the services of a well-known US choreographer and chose Sigalova. The preparation was done in secret. It was unprecedented. Zelensky would not even let his own rehearsers know everything. The classic dancer started to learn the Sigalova technique.
All was happening the way it was supposed to happen. We had accepted each other's artistic personalities, and everything went on smoothly the way it had to. What Alla and I have gone through will remain only with her and with me.
These two people were preparing a bomb. A classical dancer dared to appear in a new light. Between rehearsals, Alla flees to St. Petersburg, which he traditionally calls Leningrad, the name of the city in Soviet times.
I've been living in Moscow for 27 years, and I can't say I have not grown accustomed to it. I even have a feeling that when I return to Moscow, I return home. But my real home is here, and the real beauty for me is here.
Alla decided to become a ballet dancer when she was 9. It was her choice. The gifted girl was accepted by the prestigious Vaganov School, from where many of Russia's greatest ballet dancers have graduated. She had daily lessons from 9 in the morning to 9 at night, 6 days a week.
We, the hungry children of the Vaganov school, endlessly dreamt of bread. We would call this place vatrushka, or round-curd patty. It was round indeed, and had a bakery, where we used to buy cakes. And sometimes we would be caught, and sometimes I would be summoned to the headmasters and told, "Have you been to the bakery today? Did you eat? How could you? Look at yourself, how fat you are."
When she was in her last year at the Vaganov school, Alla sustained a trauma. Her left arm and left leg were paralyzed. Even today, Alla won't tell anyone what she had to go through. The only way she can show her pain is by dancing it. Doctors said she would walk on crutches all her life. But a year passed, and Alla managed to enter the Theatrical Institute.
For a long time since I left Leningrad, I would not show up here. It was too painful for me to come here again. To see these windows, this window of an apartment I used to live in. Later it became calmer. The pain subsided, the pain of departure. And it became easier to come here.
It took her 20 years to cross the threshold of her school again. Tonight, Sigalova is staging her own ballet in the Mariinsky Theatre. She was 10 years old when she stepped on this stage for the first time as a pupil of the Vaganov school. For many years, she dreamt about this stage and feared it.
The word fear has nothing to do with my profession. It's not an injection at a clinic that I go to, or a dentist, not even a gynecologist. Why then be frightened? There is a vehement desire to overcome everything and to achieve the goal. That's it.
When the audience burst into applause and shouted "Bravo!", Alla, full of emotion, hid behind the curtains and let the dancer take the glory of the moment.
I saw Igor today, not only his plasticity in motion, but also in the pauses. This is what amazed me. Of course, it's Igor's skill, but first, it's undoubtedly Alla's talent.
After the rapturous response, Sigalova still stays in the shadows and shares her success with the people behind the curtain.
Igor Zelansky's performance, staged by Alla Sigalova, looked wonderful, revealing, and unusually frank. I think that I was not the only one to have tears welling up at the end.
The next morning, critics will call this performance a neoclassic of the Russian ballet. Professor Sigalova will be hurrying to her classes at the Studio School of the Moscow Art Theatre. It's here that the cream of the Russian stage has been trained since Stanislavski's times. Sigalova teaches the basics of musical theatre.
Alla was the most beautiful girl in our year. She managed to look wonderful all the time. She's a woman of style. There are many beautiful women, but there are so few with real style. I think that she has actually not changed since then. Perhaps her style has become more defined.
She succeeded to accomplish herself not only professionally, but also privately. Alla gave birth to her daughter while still a student. A dancing career always imposes a dilemma for women, whether to have children or not.
There was not even a question about it. I wanted to have a child, and I gave birth to my daughter. It's beyond my comprehension when someone thinks whether to have children or not. In my opinion, it's the main destination of a woman.
Later, she would dance and act out all the significant events of her life with great honesty. At the same time, in her private life, she would let only a few special people into her world.
It was one of the most peaceful scenes I ever saw, and it stuck in my memory. A village house near Moscow, Alla swaddling her baby in the evening, and the dizzy smell of overripe apples collected and laid on the table. Alla would swaddle her daughter so nicely. She can do everything so perfectly.
Today, it is Alla's daughter's turn to have a child, while still a student.
I tried to persuade Anna that she did not have to take up ballet, because I saw at once that she is not quite gifted in this. But she was so eager to do that I let her try. She tried and understood it was not for her.
Alla would not accept a performance that has become indifferent. The creation process is very hard work. Unless a miracle happens, you'd better not get engaged. That's what Sigalova says when teaching the ballet pas to actors.